We'll just put that.
Although maybe we'll let everyone know that they sang along with us as we were singing.
We could say potentially brought to you by Big Lost. Maybe someday brought to you by Big Lost.
Maybe what we could do
Endorsement pending.
Endorsement pending. This is our appeal to Big Lost Meadery. Hello, Big Lost Meadery. Oh wait, I gotta be closer to the mic. Sorry, Brian, I'm gonna crowd you a little bit. Big Lost Meadery. If you can hear us, we would gladly drink your mead every week while we press record and make fools out of ourselves. All we need is a contact from you to make this happen. Smooches.
And this helps us make bigger fools out of ourselves. Because we're already good at that.
We're already really good at it, yes. Are you okay?
Wow. I don't know how they can say no with you.
And Big Lost. You do have a TARDIS.
We have a TARDIS, yes.
It's very big.
If you don't reach out, we will go back in time to your inception and we'll steal
your mead recipes.
We will throw wooden shoes called sabots into your gears.
That's etymology, dude.
Actually, I got that from Star Trek 6.
Hey.
Because there was that one
These guys are in Wyoming, so there's a good chance they're packing.
Oh. We're at in Wyoming. Oh!
Gun shoots a lot further than I.
You brought a knife to a gunfight. Galette. All right, I've been to Galette.
Or Galette. Is it
I think it's a Galette. I think it's a soft G.
That'd be a hard G.
Whatever it is, it's a G.
It's like jogging or yogging.
Yogging.
Might be a soft J.
Yogging is something completely different.
Whatever.
It's like GIF and GIF.
Mm-hmm.
GIF is wrong, by the way.
It is, because it's graphic interlace format, right?
Choose you programmers.
So
choose.
Graphic.
No matter what
RG.
the creator says, he's wrong.
GIF is a peanut butter.
Is it GIF or Jiffy?
I thought it was...
Stop with your Mandela effect mumbo jumbo. I don't remember. It's one
There's
of them.
Skippy.
There's Skippy, and I think
Peter Pan.
I think it's Jif. I think.
Is it Jif?
I think.
Jiffy's an auto lube center.
But I feel like Hy-Vee, or I feel like there was a Kroger equivalent called Jiffy. It was like a knockoff Jif.
Probably.
I feel like that's why I've heard of it.
Spelled with a soft G.
Okay. So, guys, next time we record, I'm going to have different facial hair.
So what's the vote tally right now?
Oh, I'll check. So
Lemmy.
I voted for Lemmy.
So on Twitter, I'm letting Twitter decide what my next style of facial hair is going to be. So the choices in the poll were.
Well, you'll be warring them.
I'll be warring it, yes. Was Wolverine, Tony Stark, or Lemmy from Motorhead? Right now, Tony Stark is in the lead with 41%.
For now.
Lemmy is in second place with 32%.
For now.
And Wolverine is in third place with 27%. I feel kind of sorry for Wolvie.
Can I only vote once?
I think so.
Damn it.
Unless you have another account.
Delete your cookies.
I could start a couple.
There you go.
Bogus accounts.
Some burner accounts. Yeah.
I think you could do that.
Somebody actually commented, and they're like, if you do Wolverine, you have to commit fully to the look. And he posted like a GIF of like shredded, shirtless Wolverine. I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna happen.
But you can do leather jacket claws Wolverine.
There you go.
I've actually got the jacket over there.
And the claws.
I thought you did
And
some
claws.
work with some cosplays.
Yeah.
Wolverine at one point.
I did that.
And the cigar.
Was that the first year we did Comic-Con?
That would have been like, what, 2017?
Probably.
I think.
Thereabouts. I'm definitely bulkier now than I was then.
So do you think they're going to reboot Wolverine?
I mean, look at this.
I don't know. Can you reboot it without Hugh Jackman?
I think you can.
With the inception of the multiverse, you sure can.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, you certainly can. But the question
is...
Should you? Yes.
Who would it be?
So here's the thing. I've seen a lot of things where like Jackman has been spotted in the gym, and he's like pretty ripped.
He's
so
older than us.
They are
Older than me,
convinced or speculating that Kevin Feige convinced him to come back for one movie.
Really? But he announced his retirement from Wolverine.
So here's the thing.
Because the one was Logan. That was 3 or 4 years ago.
If you pay somebody enough...
Oh, I understand that. Yeah. You pay someone
well,
enough.
And if Jackman, I mean, he's always been pretty lean to begin with. So but he's 55, somewhere in there. Mid-50s anyway.
You wonder, 55, you can still get pretty ripped. Like 55 is the
Well,
new, what?
I can't.
30.
If you dedicate 6 to 8 hours of your day to it,
I was gonna say
If
that's
I
his
got-
full-time job.
Well, if I was getting paid to get ripped,
yeah,
my incentive would be a lot higher to
Right,
get ripped.
right.
right.
So if they're going to back the truck up and say, hey, Hugh Jackman, we're going to pay you, $10 million plus incentives to get ripped, and probably more than that. It's probably going to be more like a $20 or $30 million deal
Probably.
plus back end.
Because they're just bringing him in to like pass the torch.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
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 To who? That'll be the question.
Well, I mean, so Marvel has gone all out on the multiverse, right?
Mhm.
So
Oh,
now
yeah.
there are
They
different
have.
Well, with
versions.
Spider-Man, they've gone all in on it. now.
Oh,
And
boy.
even
Yeah,
like
they
the
have.
Loki series and
Oh, yeah.
the WandaVision series, they've
They
done
opened it
it.
up.
So there are other universes out there with different variations of the same character. So
Could be.
I have a feeling that's how they're bringing in the X-Men anyway.
Yeah. Well, they got to bring in...
And they're clearly not going to bring in Patrick Stewart and
No.
Ian McKellen.
No.
I could see McAvoy again, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Patrick Stewart's in his 80s, right?
He's still playing Picard. I think he's like 82.
But I feel like at 80, you're pretty much limited to like one series, aren't you?
You'd have to
Like,
be. I mean, I
that
can't
takes
see
way
him
too
I can't
much.
see that. Well, I can't see them locking him into multiple series just in case
right?
the bad thing happens.
The bad. That's what we will call it. It is capitalized. The bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to dwell on that. We're not
But I
gonna
thought
talk
the
about
Picard
No.
series was pretty decent with Stewart coming back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I can't say the same about like Indiana Jones. But when Han Solo came back, or when Harrison Ford came back as Han Solo, he was pretty
That
good.
worked.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're talking about him coming back as a potential Indiana Jones again. And
Oh.
Well, they're already filming it.
I know.
Yeah.
And I
So-
just
I
can't
just
see it.
don't know
Because they tried to pass
Yeah.
the torch to that one guy.
To Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. And
So-
that just didn't work.
On a level of one to Phantom Menace, how upset would you be if I told you that the very first Indiana Jones movie I ever saw was Crystal Skulls?
That's sad.
I'm not shocked.
Shocked. Man, I saw that thing in theaters, and then
I saw Raiders of the
So,
Lost Ark. in the
having
theater.
never seen anything else, what'd you think of it?
of Crystal Skulls,
Yeah.
I actually didn't mind it.
So here's my thought.
Well, you're easily entertained.
I'm
Oh.
easily entertained. We've already established this. But if Crystal Skull had come out in place of Temple of Doom,
Mm-hmm.
we would hold it in the same regard as we hold Temple of Doom today. Because Temple of Doom
I
was
would-
not a great movie.
I
No, but
would
like,
agree.
but Crystal Skull, Act 1 was great.
Mhm.
Act 2 was
It was not good.
not great.
Right.
Act 3 just went off the rails completely.
Oh, you're splitting up into three. I thought you were doing it in halves. But
Usually there's 3 acts, and I was thinking like a
You're right.
type thing.
I would agree, but I would also say that of the two, maybe it's so people like Temple of Doom just because of the nostalgia factor.
Right.
It is
Right.
not a strong
No.
offering by itself. I would
And
argue.
Looking back, I would imagine if we were to go back and watch it now, we would see some incredibly racist elements.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
Well, and that was
No
one of the
doubt.
movies. So I saw Raiders in the theater, and then I saw Temple of Doom in the theater. And I think it was Temple of Doom, and it might have been this Mad Max Beyond Thunder. There were a couple movies in there that ushered in PG-13 because Temple of Doom just went over the top with some violent scenes, which at the now they look pretty tame, but yeah, the Kali Ma, which I think happened in one of the Star Wars games we were running.
Oh, that might
You
have,
guys,
yeah.
I think you and Nick might have Kali Ma'd somebody.
Yes. This definitely happened.
That sounds about right, honestly.
This definitely happened, yeah.
I would say though, if because of nostalgia, if you put Crystal Skulls in place,
If it had
Temple
come
of
in the
Doom,
80s.
if it had come in the 80s, it
That's
would
what
have
she
been.
said.
It would have been part of the canon, and people would have been like, "Okay, we don't love it, but we're okay with this."
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would say yes, it does kind of jump the
Raiders
shark
was so
a
strong.
little bit.
The Last Crusade was strong.
Was strong.
I love The Last Crusade.
Last Crusade
It's almost
was
like
really
Star Trek
good.
movies where there's like a
much.
strong one followed by a weaker one,
Yep.
followed by a strong one.
I don't
followed
prescribe to that, though.
by- I love the motion picture.
The motion picture is great.
Wrath of Khan is the best.
Wrath of Khan, not my favorite. My favorite
Really?
is 6, Undiscovered Country.
Yep,
I still have 4.
I do too.
The one with the whales.
Can you show me the way to Alameda?
The Nimoy one.
Where's
I
Alameda?
like 5.
Where do you keep the nuclear weapon?
I like Star Trek 5.
There's elements
You
of
know
it I
what?
really like.
I would.
And I think that they could have handled it better, but
And I would say the odds. So they claim that the odds are not as strong. I would argue that if you took the elaborate shots of the Enterprise in number 1 and condensed those down to say like a relatively meager 3 minutes instead of the 15 they gave it, I think that movie would have been much better received.
I'm sorry, but you cannot deprive the nerds of spaceship porn.
So I like spaceship porn just as much
you
as
gotta think
anybody
of when
else.
that was made, though.
Well,
So that was late 70s.
77, right?
It was
Or
77,
79.
78.
79.
78 or 79.
Yeah.
But-
It was after Star Wars.
Star
before
Wars was
Empire.
77. Motion
Right.
picture was 79. Yeah.
But I also
And
like
Superman
in
was right in
order
there,
for
too.
movies.
So there were like all these kind of big budget
Yeah.
features that were coming out.
Anyway, Brian, go ahead.
But in
Sorry.
order for like movies to transcend time, they have to be like just rock solid with what they offer. And I feel like they had a really good series of shots of the Enterprise leaving the docking bay. And it was great. But it was like 15 minutes. At least it felt like it was 15 minutes of the Enterprise leaving the docking bay. And it was like, it just felt gratuitous. Like, I would have been okay with 5. But like, every minute beyond that just became, 5 minutes. It just felt like it added too
and they
much
did it
to
in
the
Star
movie.
Trek 2 as well. When like Scotty was taking Kirk to the ship for the inspection.
They
They
did.
did that too.
But I'll argue that was such a good recreation or a good extension off of the episode from season 2 of
Space
TOS,
Seed.
Space Seed. Yeah,
Whatever. I don't know what season it was offhand, but
I
yeah.
thought it was season
Season
2.
2 sounds right.
You're probably right.
But it was such a good, strong premise that
Sure.
it superseded anything else in that movie because it's con. Like, come on. It was so good that it was even redone a second time with J.J. Abrams.
Not as well.
Not as well, but it was done a second time
See,
because
and
it was so memorable.
I even enjoyed that.
I enjoyed that one a lot.
I just do.
But honestly, of those 3 reboots, I think Star Trek
Beyond.
Beyond was the most fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I cringe every time they break the Enterprise, though.
Yeah, I do too.
Hmm.
I mean,
But anything you've got Idris Elba in, it's got to be decent. So
true.
the guy's solid.
He
And
is.
I'd love to see him as Bond.
I
That'd
would
be
too,
cool.
honestly.
That would be
Well, they
pretty
talked
awesome.
about him as
They've
the next
talked
Bond,
about
but
him. And
He's maybe a little too old. If they would have cast him as that 10 years ago, he would have been perfect.
yeah,
I think he could still do it.
I think he could.
'Cause
Daniel
how old
Craig's-
is Daniel Craig? He's
older.
not
He's
young.
in his 50s.
Boy. But Idris Elba's, like, what, 50? He's gotta be
he's
near
close.
50s.
He's no older than Daniel Craig, I don't think.
No.
He's older than Daniel Craig was when he started the
Where would we
franchise.
find out
True.
how old Idris Elba
How?
is?
What if we had a tool that would allow us to just type in
Wait,
a,
Hello,
a
computer.
name?
Oh,
It's
how,
use the keyboard.
how quaint.
I will say I think Star Trek 4 is my least favorite of the films.
Really?
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
so maybe it's because
Idris
that's
Elba is a year younger than me, so he's 49.
49. Are
There
you
you go.
50?
I am.
Are you really?
I was 50 in November. Daniel Craig, I know, is older than I am.
He's got to be
I
pushing
think
57.
I think
I'm
he's
guessing 57.
55.
56.
57.
Daniel Craig was born in 68. 54. He'll be 54 in March.
Damn.
Wait, he was born in 58?
68.
Oh, 68. Okay, that
He'll be
makes sense.
54 in March. So he has got
All right.
3 years on.
Okay.
4 years on Elba.
So we've come to the point where we ask the
Henry
question,
Cavill would be a good
do we
Bond, too.
post this?
We should.
I think we should,
I think
honestly.
we should. This is good discussion.
This is good. So we should have an entire section on unpopular opinions that we hold, because I have some other ideas.
Yes.
What's the best Star Wars movie?
So I will argue that I actually liked Episode 3 better than I liked Return of the Jedi.
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back is the best.
Number 1.
Rogue One is my second.
Number 2.
Yes.
A New
Okay.
Hope is my third.
Number 3.
What's your third?
A New Hope.
I agree with all 3 of these so
No.
far.
Episode 3 is better than New Hope.
Oh, them's fighting words. I like it. Well, maybe
That's an unpopular
do
opinion.
we want to talk about this in a different video?
I don't know.
In
Do
all
we?
honesty, I think maybe we should talk about this in a separate video.
Okay.
We should save that one.
Yeah, I think
Till next time.
I think
Until
a
next
section
time.
on unpopular opinions is a good idea, and we
Yeah.
can just like brainstorm what that looks like.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I will
Alien or Aliens?
never seen any of them.
Really?
Oh boy, it's
Really?
been a while. I actually
See, I'm more
can't
Alien,
differentiate the two.
but I think my brother's Aliens.
I'm a big fan of any that
Terminator?
Enya, you're a big fan of Enya?
of any any Sigourney
Irish.
Weaver movie where she
She
ends up
likes New
ends up-
Age music. Oh, what about
No,
Sigourney?
that's Sinead
where she
O'Connor.
rips her shirt somewhere like halfway through.
Yeah.
But
But you gotta love Alien that it just completely turned the gender norms upside down.
yeah,
and
it was
said,
a
"We're
it was
gonna
a
have
very
her be a
groundbreaking film.
tough female character that kicks ass."
She was probably the first like sci-fi female action hero.
Yeah, like Barbarella was totally sex and selling her body, but
That doesn't.
Alien was
yeah.
completely different with
Yeah.
Ripley.
Yep.
It was completely taking a masculine approach to the female character, which was very cool.
Yeah.
Well, and she was an actor that could actually handle the role too.
Mhm.
Let's be honest.
Good job, Chip.
Yeah, I would agree. Alien over Aliens,
I
but
Ridley Scott over James Cameron. Body of work. That would be an interesting conversation. Blade Runner and
yeah,
Alien.
that would need further
Martian.
thought.
I don't watch enough movies to have an opinion there.
Yeah.
But James Cameron did Avatar, Terminator, The Abyss.
So I will say,
Yeah.
that
unpopular
would be a
opinion.
fun conversation. But
I will give my thoughts on James Cameron's Avatar on a future film or a future podcast because, again, unpopular opinions.
I liked
bigger
it.
asshole, James
Really?
Cameron
Yeah.
or
All right.
Ridley Scott.
We
think
will
it's
have
James
much
Cameron,
to
hands
discuss
down.
on a future episode.
So this is how new segments are born over Big Lost Mead.
Brought to you by maybe potentially.
We still await.
Hopefully.
We still await
Pending.
your answer, Big Lost Meadery.
You've not responded to us in the 20 minutes that we've been...
It's been
Because this
like
has got to be a niche
16
podcast
minutes.
you haven't explored yet for advertising.
Right.
Right.
Where are they based out of? Oh,
So. Wyoming.
Gillette or Gillette, Wyoming. That's right.
One of the two. One shaves you, the other is a town.
Which doesn't strike you as a meadery type
No.
place. Needs to be like Old England or something.
Or
Yeah,
Norway.
Yeah.
agreed.
Where
Are,
they've got
there Vikings in Idaho? Was it Idaho?
Wyoming.
Wyoming. I mean, there might be Vikings in Idaho. Leif Erikson made his way all the way up to Arkansas, so who knows anymore? I don't know.
He was in Arkansas?
He was, believe it or not. Look it up, kids. It is true because I've been to The Rock.
Dwayne Johnson?
No,
Everybody
no,
loves
The
pancakes.
Rock. The Rock in Arkansas that he visited.
Oh,
Well, there's a rock in Plymouth.
there's a rock in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm second guessing my comment earlier. Maybe we shouldn't post this.
Nope, we're gonna do
If,
it.
It's
if you're
gotta be
seeing
posted.
this,
We're
then
gonna
you're
do it.
witnessing history. I don't know.
It's a wrap.
Thank you,
Cut.
everybody, for joining us. Join us for another exciting edition of We've Been Drinking, coming to a YouTube near you.
Possibly.
Brian, do the thing.
Oh, Alonzi.